Hello and welcome to the Cybersecurity Happy Hour podcast. This is episode 43, where we explore the latest in cybersecurity. I am your host, Kristen, and today we'll be diving into a topic that's absolutely critical for defending against evolving threat landscape. I'm going to be talking about the cyber threat intelligence. Now, what is cyber threat intelligence? It is the practice of gathering information, analyzing and applying that information about potential or existing threats. And what we're saying here is that we know that threats are ongoing. So what are the ways we can stay ahead of attackers? And the way we can stay ahead of the attackers are by understanding the techniques they use, the procedures, and the tactics. So why is CTI so important, and how can organizations definitely leverage to enhance their security posture? Okay, let's find out. So firstly, let's clarify what is meant by cyber threat intelligence. So cyber threat intelligence is an actionable information that will help on that organization understanding the threats that they face. And then once they understand what these threats are, then decisions need to be made to protect their assets. And when I talk about protecting the assets, I mean not just in context, but the raw data. Now, how can cyber threat intelligence help? Well, it provides insights into who is attacking and what methods they're using. And also, you also find out what is their aims and objectives. There are 3 levels of cyber threat intelligence. Often starting from the top, there is a strategic intelligence, there is tactical intelligence, and operational intelligence. So, with the strategic intelligence, this looks at the high level of insights used by decision makers. So we talk about people at the top, the board, the senior managers, etc. And they use this information to make long-term decisions and to understand the long-term trends as well. So if they really understand what these long-term trends are, then they can make these long-term strategic decisions. The second layer is the tactical intelligence. Well, this is about information about the tactics, the procedures I mentioned before, and the techniques used by attackers, which is also good for those who are defending the systems. And if they have this information, the tactical level and tactical intelligence can be used to provide defensive measures. And the third level, which is the final level, is operational intelligence, where real-time information is provided and it will help to deal with incident response or sometimes immediate threat mitigation. Something's happened and that threat needs to be mitigated immediately. So the importance of cyber threat intelligence, why is this important? Well, in today's environment, we know that we have been battling this war, and these attacks have become, sophisticated. And sometimes traditional security measures, such as antivirus and firewalls, some of them may not be fit for purpose or on their own. So what cyber threat intelligence does is to help organizations to be more proactive than reactive. You don't want something to happen, then you react. It puts it stepping ahead of the game to protect your infrastructure generally. For instance, if you know the playbook of your opponent before the game starts, then that is one of the advantages of cyber threat intelligence. It will help you in advance identify potential threats before they materialize into a full-blown attack. So it's a sort of a preemptive measure, preemptive strike. And being ahead of the game will help organization from financial losses reputational damage, and any devastating breaches. Threat intelligence gathered and used. So, one, data collection. You have to collect the data from various sources, and these sources could be open source intelligence. It could be the organization's internal logs. There could be threat data feeds and dark web monitoring. So once the data has been collected, then it has to be analyzed by the team. So the data is analyzed to identify patterns. They can identify potential threats, attackers' timelines. So this really helps to transform that raw data that's been gathered from various sources into some kind of actionable intelligence. Thirdly, dissemination of that data. So when the data is gathered, it was analyze the data, then it needs to be shared with the right teams within the organization. So if you have a security operations team, you have an incident response team, and of course the leadership is shared with people at the top. And then once all that has been analyzed by the various teams, then action must be taken. We can't analyze and just sit on the morals or sit on the hands. Then the intelligence that is used to be gathered will provide top management with strategic solutions. The current or existing defenses in place can be updated, and threats can be responded in a timely manner. But I can't say it's all easy to implement CTI. There are also challenges. And one of the biggest hurdles is the sheer amount of volume of data, because remember, it's gathering data from various sources. So organizations need to have the right tools and the expertise to filter out the noise and focus on the intelligence. And also there should be collaboration between, let's say, those work internal within the organization or external as well, sharing that intelligence among industry peers. We want to all learn from this data that's been gathered, not just to protect one organization, but to protect us all. So sharing information with peers on other participating information sharing communities can enhance the value of the cyber threat intelligence. Other challenges is ensuring that the intelligence that's been gathered can be actionable. Now, it's one thing to know that a threat exists, okay, we know it's there, but another thing to know what to do about it. And this requires skilled analysts who can not only interpret the data, but communicate that information effectively to decision makers, which is strategic team. Oh, we know what to do, but you need to communicate. Why? Because they're funded. They're going to pay for the changes that are required, the manpower, the financial resources. They have to pay for it. They have to prove it and pay for it. So, what does the future hold for cyber threat intelligence? Well, as cyber threat continue to evolve, we know they will not stop. So are the methods and tools used for cyber threat intelligence. So things we're seeing today are automation, not AI. AI can help process these large volumes of data more quickly, obviously, than a human. There's also a growing emphasis on predictive intelligence. So what do you mean by that? Not just using data to understand the current threats, but to anticipate the future threats as well. Now, if organizations are implementing and recognizing the value of cyber threat intelligence, then you're going to see more collaboration. Sometimes information is kept to one organization. And one of the reasons why it's kept to one organization, due to embarrassment and possibly reputational damage. So if one can be open and have this collaboration and share information across industries, then this will be a way to stay ahead of any sophisticated attacks. Well, let me conclude here. So cyber threat intelligence, again, is a critical component of modern cybersecurity. It allows organizations to understand the threat landscape. Most importantly, they can anticipate threats and respond. So they anticipate proactive rather than reactive. They can respond more effectively. And with any sort of tool, it's only as good as it is used. So what I've talked about today, I've talked about the key to cyber threat intelligence. It is not just about gathering data, but turning that data that has been gathered from various sources into actionable insights. So this obviously is an internal decision. So if your organization hasn't embraced cyber threat intelligence, now it's time to take a look. So what you can do is start by assessing your current capabilities, invest in the right tools, re-examine your existing culture for collaboration within your organization and external partners. Have a conversation again with your external partners if you do. And we'll see what the results are. Now, there are various key tools and platforms used for cyber threat intelligence. I'm going to mention a few. There's no affiliation here. So we have the threat intelligent platforms. We have ThreatConnect. ThreatConnect provides a comprehensive tip that integrates threats from multiple sources, automates workflows, and provide collaborative intelligence sharing. And then we have the malware information sharing platform, which is an open source platform that allows organizations to share threat intelligence with trusted partners. Now, what tools are used? I mean, some are familiar. Splunk. What is Splunk? So Splunk will help, it's the same, that collects and analyzes machine-generated data. And then with this, you can it provides real insights into threats. There is ArcSight, again, a SIM by Micro Focus that provides advanced analytics and threat detection capabilities. Then you have other network traffic analysis tools, Darktrace. Everybody hears about Darktrace. If it hasn't, now uses AI to analyze network traffic and detects anything that's abnormal and anything that might indicate a cyber threat. Then we have Zeek. Again, this is an open source tool for network security monitoring that provides detailed visibility into your network and integrate that into threat intelligent feeds. Thank you for joining me on this episode of the Cybersecurity Podcast. If you found today's discussion on cyber threat intelligence valuable, please subscribe, rate, and leave a review. And don't forget to follow us on social media, on our website. I appreciate you listening and have a lovely day. Until next time, let's continue learning, growing, and taking active steps in cybersecurity.